Hey Dan, I'm doing a video for whoever's watching for the notion that I got a punch in the back of the head in recent minutes, invisibly so to speak, going to the bathroom. You might think this is some sort of strange scenario, but it is. I got out of hospital today. For those who've heard me complain about the institution, they're thinking exercise and forceful and return tomorrow. I think it's a crime unto itself. I lived a healthy, gentle, persuasive land in which tries to bring peace and evasiveness towards neglectful situations every day. I believe I'm a part of that. I don't want to go back to the institution, but I'm forced back there tomorrow. I'm wondering if it happens to me or my rights aren't respected, how many people is going to happen? Then I'm asking for people to really understand what's going on here, that the rights are being staked. And if you don't understand what that means, the rights are being forsaken in my name. I'm one of the constitution's protectors in my nature of the land. I'm one of the people who is partly responsible for the Constitution, as far as I know, as strange as it sounds. Back around the years 1468 to 1677 or so, 1668, around a 200-year period, when Ireland was free with Anglo-Normans, they had concerted over here and there was war up to the point of about the 1400s. Then we became free and with a constitution in the Gaelic language. And the constitution was in a book called Lava de Shava, or the Lava de Schlein, which is the book of the shadow, in other words. And that's where the laws are written. I don't know if anyone will find anyone know about this, but I also want to talk about my parents who turned very dark with me once again the second I got home. They've offered me tea, they've offered me coffee. I don't know why they turned dark with me, they turned dark with me in my opinion. I also got a clip in the back of the head that tried to turn me unconscious, and it's about the 40 to 50th clip I've got in the back of the head, or the front of the head, or feeling incapacitated in recent weeks while in the hospital. I understand she's trying to be taken out here as one of the main stakers who protects the Constitution, as one of the main defenders of Irish land, in the name of standing for what's right in Ireland as far as I'm concerned. I've been doing it for the last 10 to 12 years, not inherently or voluntarily, it just needs to be done. I don't know what will happen to you, whether I'll hit a concussed state and wake up later on. I'll just figure it out my own. I'll put the piece together my own way if I can, as I always try to do. I think it's only natural. But I'm telling you now, there's nasty stuff out there. Nasty stuff. Nasty stuff. I went upstairs and I want to make claim that my father's clasped his hand in a very aggressive manner, and I heard his voice there saying, maybe I am trying to apply pressure on him. But this is what I've been receiving off him for years. It's the instance of generations, because it seems like a father-son generic thing where he claimed, where last week, I won't even tell you what he said because people won't believe, people think it was the maddest thing in human history, but I'm not the only one who claims to hear it, and I wonder if anyone else can concede with this, if they're brave enough to come clear with, to anyone who's questioning the situation, to who lives in Kildare region of Ireland, and this might be the most important time in human history, but for me it's the most important point in my life, where apparently I'm smoking today, I was afflicted with tobacco, and I missed a major opportunity to meet someone special. I don't know who someone special is, but it seems like some form of emotional blackmail again, that I failed, that it was some sort of exam or something. I'm being tested to see if I'm worthy of the world again. I am born fresh of this world. I can't express it any other way. I don't see who I'm out to impress. I don't have to see why I have to impress doctors or psychiatry. Two of them for a bit of a money making soliciting business to reason unto man. I ain't about failures in own way. For saying that people are inconsistently on a molecular level. Science is brought up to the level now, molecular biology, that quantum physics alters the molecular field around us. So we are built of molecules and atoms. And I'm quite fearful of saying all this, but I'm going to project this right now and think it's the right thing to do. My father's trying to apply pressure on me to murder me and make me unconscious. That's what I distinctly feel and understand. He can accuse me of madness, he's accused me of insanity. I think he is one of the maniac people I've ever come across. Where he comes across as slow and passive aggressive in his own way, but he has vengeance in him, and you can see that in him every day. My mother concedes with him for reasons I don't understand. I know he's beating her up in his own way as well. They also lied. I was in a meeting in the hospital a few weeks ago where they arranged apparently to walk out with my sister. So apparently they're concurrent arrangement where they walk in and try and leave me in the hospital. And they seem to be living with enough for me getting home again, back to my own life again. Because they were omitting their own lives is what I think. And I don't wish them to deep down, because my parents, I love them. And this is the sad part about it really. But they have to come clear within themselves just as life goes on. Life has its expectations, it really does, because we have children being born in the world, we have innocent people. And if wars being fought, and these all have to be conceded within. The hell have we stopped for to make the world a better place? I'm sure I'm not the only person who feels the world wants or needs to be made a better place. If not for me as an individual, for many people. I don't believe I'm the only one to stand up for these kind of rhetoric or standards. I don't believe it's a laughing matter. But someone clipped me in the back of the head and really put me unconscious again. And like I said, it's the 40th, I'd say the 50th occasion it's happened in recent weeks for people who have gotten blasted to the head. I don't feel I'm a bad man. I know I keep pointing it out there on YouTube, etc. to say, what's your problem, who are you, and what do you want? And if you have the courage to say so, like I put my videos up there and say why I'm Mr. Nisha Kelly from the Republic of Ireland. I was born in Tala County, Dublin, in the year 22nd of the 11th, 1987. I went to baby school in Balbriggan when I was 4 years of age. I went to primary school in St. Oliver Plunkett, Bulladry, and then I went to Sword CBS, Gloucester Cullen first year. I went to CPC, Crush and Passion College, Cullen County Kildare. I now live at 8 Fonts at County Kildare. I'm not fearful for who and what I am. I've nothing to fear really, because I'm feeling honesty as my vest here, where stuff wants to conceal in darkness. I don't trust these forces at all. I know them to work out like a crossword or a Sudoku or anything else. It's to be negated and avoided, if not dealt with in its own way. And I'm not saying I'm going to use exercise violence or force or anything else. I just understand my own phenomenon, and this isn't negative towards it. And I'm asking why again, if anyone has the conclusion for me. Because it's piss on business, to be honest with you, to treat like some sort of Antwerp. It's not Antwerpian, it means like some sort of Antwerp. You may think I'm small, you can think I'm small, but you seem to spend a lot of time involving yourself in my business. I wonder what you're hiding deep down. I wonder what you're conceding against. And I wonder if it's a murder or rape or consolidation or what it is. Consolidation. The lack of flourishing within oneself, or flourishing. Or the negation of the capacity to flourish within oneself. Or is it that you inhibit others from flourishing, because that's what you're doing in my life? And Derek, I think you're distinguished, Derek, if you get this feel. I know but you're just going to watch it. I know Dear's going to watch it, and he's going to watch it. I hope he's all watch it as my family. I understand he is discernibly dark. He's all get the incidents on occasions. I want him to stop if you can come across and help me. Because I'm getting sick to death of what I'm going through. I understand I have to go back to this dire place called a psychiatric institution tomorrow, which you probably accuse me of insanity. I'd like to test the water and have an intellectual debate with you. If you want. If you really want to sit down and conversate and have a diplomatic, hopefully democratic debate in a situation where I'm not cornered in by 4-1 or 4-2 in a conversation where you're cornering me and accuse me of insanity and having disease. Where is this disease, this fictitious imaginary concoction you have? That's more of a falsehood than anything I've ever come across. But you're accusing me of falsehood with myself, where you come across as truthful and honest and depictable. How can you do that? How can you come clear with yourself in that regard? And listen to my words when I say this. How can you come clear with yourself in that regard? How can you be honest with yourself? You don't feel any tension, any sort of guilt in your body at all, including as me, when I feel fairly hit my own life, where I've admitted all my crimes and I tried to repent of unbelief. And I'm asking this seriously now, why does someone who feel you need to something behind the back of the head? You might think it's strange or invisible, whatever it is. I felt a clatter in the back of the head. I can prove it here. I have witnesses here. I'm working on a conscious level. As everyone has their own friends in life, whatever they're going through. I'm not talking about imaginary friends. I believe everyone knows it's a real phenomenon. Maybe people are mistaken from it because of drugs, whatever else. I can't say the antipsychotics should demented me like they have done in recent years, but I don't feel them as well as a force. My father's certainly going to try and get me off them, which is a positive sign. But it seems to work one way and then the other way, whatever bridge he's stuck on. And I feel for that, and I was heard about this as well, that I feel for that, But I don't know why people want to harm me, I really want to harm us all. If ever. I understand people seem vengeful in their own way for whatever is not coming clear for them. It comes clear at the end of the day. And I take everything nice and slow, I feel clear, I don't see what's so bad about that either. And if I'm coming across level and clear to planet Earth, there's serious stuff going on here. And some of us are looking for help, but if I go back into the institution tomorrow, my right to inherent liberty is respected. That means it gets forsaken and handed over as one of the main constituents behind the Constitution. That's what I'm letting people know too nicely understand that if I go back into this Lakeview, Naas County Kildare, where they're all employed to inhibit freedom and inhibit the rights of the land, employed to do it, paid to do it, so they're all breaking the law in their own way, every one of them. And someone has made a comment that was Naas Cardi, that ring up there against you, go off you kind of thing, because they have to get you kind of thing. So all they do is instigate fear into you, and it's hard to tell what's been thrown at you on occasions. I want to know what the problem is. I really want to know what the problem is. I've talked about my speeding, I've talked about my LSD use, I've talked about my cannabis use, I've done 5 years of therapy, I've been at an institution 9 years in a row. I've had it tough, I've been through the broken yard, so to speak. I don't believe it's going to get harder than this, and I don't believe it has to. That's why I'm putting this out here again, so people can understand where I'm coming from. And if you have any questions, I would love if anyone could get in touch with me deeply and truly, because someone made a comment there a few minutes ago, right, you want me back here? Seems like an Adam McNamara's own way. I won't mention any more names. Sad, lonely life you live. And this stuff can be hurtful when you are certainly in pain, And for some reason, the creative life of force has gone against me. The creative force of life has gone against me. Say I didn't go God there. I didn't wish to bestow the God's commands or His opportunities. If that's the case, I feel bad. I feel desperately guilty. I feel bad. I didn't go to tobacco burning. This is the worst thing in the world. I'm prepared to give up tobacco at the right time when I feel prepared to. And someone said it's gonna meet someone distinctly beautiful this week. Or distinctly beautiful people if I just give it back, because I have to be respectful enough for you to respect me for me, don't, in my identity and my personality and for who I am. Otherwise, it's not meant to be, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not too bothered by it at the end of the day. And then someone started going on the same force, the same God, you're going to live a discerning, miserable life for the mistake you made today. This is what I get, like, and this is my real phenomenon. You can call it schizophrenia, you can call it psychosis, but for me, it's a real phenomenon to go through. People haven't woken up to how existence is real. You know, I think it's very simple to acclaim those words and to look me in the eyes right now and say, I'm not real, or am I real, or do you think I'm an illusion, or hallucination, or delusion, under the Constitution, or arbitrary contrivance when it comes to inherent right to liberty, freedom, democracy, peace, truth, justice, which I believe are all vindicated in my life for convenient measures with those who have initial levels of darkness, as far as I'm concerned, much worse crimes than I've committed, but the eye is certainly fixed on me a lot of the time for some reason. And tried to depict an art, yes, I went up to the art room in the hospital. I depicted an eye, which is like the source of the universe I described, and I did a tricolour, in the name of the eye, tricolour, because I feel she may be being sacrificed in her own way. That's why I'm worried. I'm very worried. And the other note I want to bring is I haven't had cultural practice for 16 weeks. It means I haven't made my sacred site, so I hope to get back there soon. But in saying that, that's another cultural inheritance that's been denied in the hospital. In saying that, there's another one, the right to privacy, is also being denied largely by concussing and incessant volume of barrage that's thrown at me from other human beings that I've met. And it might be just as spectral, so to speak. I'll give that more to the benefit of the doubt. It might be just your enmity, so to speak. You're not your entity, but your antitious kind of behavioural pattern that's left over. But I doubt that. I'm not stupid, and there's nobody else. People aren't stupid. Don't claim to be stupid, please, across planet Earth either, you know. We're highly stupid beings. I don't feel the need to act like this. I call them pussy punches, wrong way if someone tries to dig you in the back of the head. I really do, because I saw it happen in Oz, and I know of other instances as well where it's happened. And I got a fierce clunk in the back of the head there. And it worries me all over, because my parents upstairs and they insisted on helping me. They started to drain me. They said we're watching something on the TV, or when you're not worthy of our time, basically, is what they said to me. Again, for whatever reason, they concluded in their own mindsets, and they insist I'm mentally unstable. And once again, I'm going to challenge the notion and say, how am I mentally unstable? How on earth do you think I am? In what regard? How am I hallucinating? How am I delusional? Or how am I hearing voices? And I have all my auditory, hallucinatory periphery unharmed, as far as I'm concerned. And as Mr. Colin Fox coming off to St. Clear and Bell, this is real from school. Thank you, Colin. He seems to be a gap there on Lars. He's telling me loud and clear to say loud and clear. This is real for people who don't understand. Thank you. He also understands what I'm going through to some degree. Thank you. And he'll back me up on that, is what he's saying. He's starting to be confident. He's saying he's backing me up on what's going on and what I'm talking about, because he understands every word I'm saying. And I think I hope he feels me. I really hope you feels me, because it's pain where I'm at. And that is one nice gesture to get across there. Thank you. It's nice to get these gestures in life. We understand you have some sort of support. I just want to say there seems to be particularly nasty people out there who want to disconnect you from the divine the wrong way, not let you be accomplished with success. And success comes in many forms. People think of material success as the only way. You don't understand every breath is a form of success, because you are of omnipotence. Because this reality, unless you have the inclusion in God, which is not a harmful thing, but once again I'll question who are God's parents, if there's a God out there. So it's a mystery after that, but even when you step into the mystery, you dip your little toe into the little puddle for a sec and ask how this mystery has come about, how this existence came about is the greater mystery, which a lot of us forsaken. We do get guided towards God and godlyship and godlyhood, which are nice things to think about and know about. But the point is, it's about knowing thyself at the end of the day, which is about knowing God within. That's what it really boils down to, and that's really what I think people are challenged by in this life, and that's why I wish to continue to guide and continue to teach. Despite how hateful or hateful I might seem, this is what I'm here to do as an ascended master, to guide people through the accessionary realms, the percussionary realms, and the symbolic realms, and someone who is equipped with the tools to do so. And I've claimed on my videos that I've been doing in recent months and years, and it's not easy, but I'm walking through it. And I know I read the quote today, I can't go against that quote, but it's tough. And all I'm saying is I don't need pressure put on me, extra pressure. I don't know why anyone needs that anger or vindictive without explaining it. When I ask an honest question, please answer the question. I looked at my parents and said, are you putting pressure on me there? Because I feel very weak in my own way. And I wonder why you're making me trying to make me unconscious and make yourself stronger than I am. I don't feel it's necessary in the name of equality and peace. And even if not in Ireland worldwide, where it's expected and hoped for. in the name of love, in the name of creation, in the name of God Almighty, so to speak now, so to speak, because sometimes I'm into God, sometimes I'm not. It depends how it treats me, really. And sometimes I can be hurt by the instant. But to say I'm a bad person isn't fair, but there's something else in the tip of my tongue there. I feel a pinching sensation at the back of my head that I can't pronounce, and it's put me off my thought process again. And I get this regular, like there's hands or something grooved into the back of my head. And in that sense, it is painful. But it doesn't want to be explained for some reason. Well, I sit here and explain all day, every day what I'm going through. I don't mind doing it, but some days I sit there and explain to myself what I'm going through, as if I have to, because I've learned some sort of open endeavour where I feel guilty and ashamed or addicted for being apparently mentally insane or clinically insane or mentally unstable. It's a form of judgmentalism. And so I said to my father tonight, trying to trigger him off and saying that I said, judge not, let she be judged, and dare anyone else judge. And to go into tribunal now in October, after these people have to question my mental sanity and I'm worthy of the world again, see what I mean, we're healing under the healing methods. I'm the same person as I was. You watch my videos on Facebook, you see 2 years ago how clear I was around him when they arrested me and dragged me in there. That's ringing up for medicinal cannabis, like I'm clear for me, dialing around for medicinal cannabis. And they arrested me and dragged me in there. And that's 2 years and I've been dragged into Lakeview and East Hospital, where it's like some sort of military cohort service in some way. I'm saying the courage of a bad place, the military people are a bad place, they seem like intelligent people. But the people in there are like bouncers to real life, to real world, to the earth. I don't believe I have the right to do that. I believe that shoddy little trodden building should be shut down. And I'm not the only one who said it. I've heard at least 3 to 4 to 6 people in there say it should be shut down. Someone claims to be guards, someone claims to be members of society, etc., etc. Most people have come across the place, and apparently the upstairs staff in the next hospital claim they want this place shut down as well for its remarkably violent behaviour, where people are getting tombstoned and dropped and dragged in and out, and etc., etc., and drugged beyond belief, where they just become concussed. And this is the eloquent plan of who exactly, because it's not me and it's not my desire, and it's not eloquent. Well, I'm here to stand up against it. Apparently, I don't particularly want, but this is me speaking of what I'm going through. So I'm going to fork this up for now and say, please don't cause me pain, please don't cause me grievance, even though the voice to see the difference it makes to my world and thus their world. Otherwise, you'll be changing to yourself, or you'll be changing onto yourself for an eternity, so to speak. I don't mean that in a negative manner. I mean you'll constantly wondering and bewildering, and as you figure out what's going on in yourself, and you always be quite back to yourself as an individual, what's going on in the life. That's what us masters know. That the only instant you can be a part of is your own instant, and even when you share someone else's instant, you can only know if that is a sharing of apparatus. You can only ever know your own instant. That's why it's good to have your own connection on the vulnerabilities of life, and that's why it's good to come clear with life. That means you don't have to do with any other individual. Have your own private relationship with yourself. You know, that's why it's alright to be lonely on occasions, or sad, or depleted even. Because life will pull through regardless, because you know the strength. If you've seen a fracture, you know what you have within yourself or in other people. And it's something you can't amount to within yourself, you see in other people. And I gouge that for anybody. In saying that, I'll leave it at that for now and put this up. And I started to say this to my father: you're a lovely man, you're a loving man. But I don't understand where you're coming from, not telling the truth. If you want to say yes or no answer to me, I feel very hindered, but threatened by it in my own way. I'm my mother again, and that's what I'm saying loud and clear. That I'm back in the house here. And this is what was happening for months and years before I was institutionalised. My family apparently had me drawn in there when he said to the doctor that I had to be brought into hospital to go under some form of remodeling of my mind, apparently, because of a threat to the house here. I was having the 666 phenomenon, and this was just discerning in relation to a young fella trying to send me to hell with a stone over the head. And it's a real phenomenon for me where people have tried to send me to Satan. I'm not into Satan. I'm going to send the master. I don't go to hell. I'm beyond hell. Literally, as the send the master, one of my accomplishments is that I'm beyond hell. So faith in me in that regard. If I want to be carried to it, I can get in touch. That's what I'd like to do in life, is get through these repercussions where I need it. And I understand everything's calm and pale at the moment, for everything brought around, but I feel exhausted and shattered from this experience where I've been staffed for 30 to 36 hours. And once again, I'm going to question what is wrong with having experience in life, if it all adds up at the end of the day, which it usually does. And leave that sink in for a minute. If things usually add up at the end of the day, whether it be the intelligence endowed within the human being regardless, or someone outside, what is the difference? But I like to make things make sense, things myself, and I still gonna look for the clues and like to guide me on, like everyone does. And if you have never searched for clues, I suggest you do, because if you guide to wondrous, mysterious places. And I love my past life repercussions in particular. I really enjoy them, or our future potentialities and stuff like that. You know, I love the little hindrances which are like small minor wealth, big deals to some people, because life can be minute in its own way, but infinite at the same time. When you get in touch with a fraction of that magnitude, so to speak, you can pronounce. volumes upon echelons of really what you're made of. And that is the divulgence of all divulgences, the bestowment of all bestowments. You are the creator in manifest form. I don't know if I was asked not to use the word creator today, that can appear as a redundant form, but I believe we are God manifest in human form as human being. I don't believe we're small or lower. I believe this is some ancient kind of type of genet for superiority, type of authenticity within the world. I believe we are the authentic, real deal in the moment. If you catch my drift, we won't get closer in the instant and the love you feel in your heart at any given time. And when you hear that from me, I feel like saying I love you as an individual, whoever you are. I don't mind saying that. If the words F word or F this or F words are rounding off, you're in a state of pain, you're away from yourself, so just take a few deep breaths. That's what I have to do every day, and I've been doing in recent days to come around, to come clear within myself and the institution. I'm telling their painful places. I've lost on my mother's side and auntie and uncle the institutions. Both of them under the name of being mentally employed all throughout the course of their life, and I don't want to change that to me. So I'm hoping people can garner or garnish through the instance for me to back me up and question the instance of why you feel any sort of experience is too negative that you wish to remote someone's freedom when it's a special time on earth when laws are being closed. And that's one surprise more sitters aren't teaming up with me and they're taking payouts. Apparently he's walking clear one of my sisters taking payouts. I requested a different doctor 3 times, didn't go through, that's my right. That's one right that's being diminished as well. Cultural practice is being diminished. My freedom inherent right to liberty is being diminished because 2 guards came and kicked down the door last week when I was here on my own. My parents were here actually, my mother led them into the bedroom. They take them away again. And I wonder what have I done that's so unforsakable. From the bottom of my heart, what have I done? I want forgiveness from the bottom of my heart, but people don't seem awake in this world, they don't seem conscious or aware. Maybe it's just a country, I don't know, but where do I go to search for help when I get no word from anybody? And I wonder who's disconnecting me where and why. Because I come home, I phone my 083 number. Who disconnected me from the life, my thought my life to come. Who disconnected me? In all these instances, just so I couldn't get in touch with people I want to get in touch with or need to get in touch with. And now they're saying they're nice guard a year after me for some reason, for speeding apparently, to put me into court, to prison, or they're going to beat me up, as what their suggested priority was. You know, I guess the instance of people are trying to block out my words so I don't get them. So anyway, now it's clearing pieces of reading. And I watched a video of Jerusalem today where I felt an instinct pulling off the notion that I was crucified there, and it tore right to my soul, tore right through there. I don't know whether it's me as an individual soul, which is what I strongly feel. Somehow or other, I can't explain it, but that's my own battle, my own conflict, my own whatever you want to call it, or whether it's the eye that I feel that I've grown into and developed. We all meet and encounter occasions. If you haven't, I suggest you research and learn and try to divulge into the knowledge to a master for a while who can guide you and insinuate in that direction. You have to pay attention and be close. Just be close. Just like you spray with perfume, you get the scent of it. You don't need it up your nose, so to speak, where it puffs you out of it. You just need the scent. You just need the scent to lead you on. That's the guys you need to go under for now. That's what I'm saying. I know it's a long one. I need to say a lot there, but I got off my chest for now. Admitting I am sitting home alive and smoking tobacco. I haven't done much else for listening to music, and I'm quite content to do that. But I'm quite fearful of someone lashing out at me again. To be honest, in case I do go unconscious somewhere and something happens to me. So I've had all sorts of notions come across me lately. And I don't really want to mention real forsaker, but it seems to be across the pond, so to speak, which means to be the real forsaker for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what I've done to harm them. They keep saying I've challenged them, I've done this, I've done that. I say it in the name of quality things that be balanced in this earth for that, and that's what I'm willing to fight for. And it might sound a bit aberrative, but some people that are saying earning wealth, they want to add this land as well, where the toll bridge is. The finances from hospitals, the finances, all the profits from a lot of the public companies now are not going into public hands like we have in Sweden and Denmark. Not Sweden, Scandinavian countries. The 3 Scandinavian countries are pivot profit, which means all the countrymen and country nationals get their profit driven from the nation itself. You know, and they have a lot of foreign nationals working there under them, beneath them is what I heard. That's what we don't have in Ireland, but that's what we're looking for, and that's what we're guiding towards. So hopefully we'll have hope and faith in that coming through. We get a bigger income than we not necessarily need or deserve, but do deserve. Because it's our money that should be coming our way as public citizens of this land where we have our rights, and it's not a right that's being negated as well. It's in the name of being greedy, basically, in the name of having some private club issues, I'll call them. Clubs, in other words, where people think they can have their dark secret scenarios behind closed doors and agreements and shake their hands. Think that people aren't conscious of it. We're all conscious in our own way, some more than others. Some of us stay conscious for the right reasons, and that's what I'm saying for now. Thank you, and do you know right to liberty if that goes tomorrow? Be careful. Be careful in this land what goes on. Be careful that anyone out there who feels in any way, shape or form threatened to it all. There's also there's one other thing of mine that I can't get out, which is really stressing my brain here. My right to liberty, my right to privacy, which you don't get in the hospital because they do checks every half an hour to an hour. But it's mainly the right to liberty that's being forsaken here. That they're not respecting my right to liberty, where they threaten me with violence. They tear me out of the house if I don't go back to the hospital tomorrow, which is actually what the doctor said. I'm going to exercise violence, or he threatened me basically. I don't know if that's an evil doctor. I don't believe he's a doctor. I believe he's a charlatan in clothes. He wants to make money and do people in his own way, slowly but surely, and grind them down. That's no curing or healing model. And once again, I'm going to question psychiatrists. Who invented psychiatry? Where did it come from? If you want to research it yourself, who invented the notions behind all these words, because they're just words at the end of the day. I don't only give as much power as you give them, and I don't give them much power, which is why I feel I might come across a Tarsus into the situation. Or Tarsus is in a bit of a nail in someone's shoe, so to speak. And I can't help but know my ex-employer, Stearnsy, traces some negativity back to him, but I say no more on it. Good luck.